can get, and I saw it today actually, there's a chart you can get which shows all the colors of all the pollens. So when they're storing pollens, they will store pollen around the periphery of the sphere that they live in. And so it's stored for the future, it's protein. And usually what they will do is they will, in each of the hexagonal cells, they will only store one type of pollen. So you can see the types of pollens by the color. And there is a color chart to show you the type of tree or plant that that each pollen comes from. You can identify the various pollens, which would then give you type of a sense of what the flavor would be really.
Yeah, sure. I know heather honey is quite dark, isn't it? I've seen that before. It's very,
It
very
is.
dark
It's not
honey.
an ordinary flower honey. Garden flower honey is my favorite, but everyone's got different taste, haven't they?
Yeah, I'll have to try it. I do like tree honey. I know last year I had someone sent me, and it might have been maple honey or sycamore honey. I don't know which one it was. It was right. It was quite early on, but they gave us some of that, and that was really nice. But it's very. I don't know whether it's the wax in it, but it was very hard. You had to sort of work it before you could spread it. Stab it up and down a few times.
Well, there are two types of honey. One is honey is some honey from nectar from some crops, for example. It can be what's called thixotropic. So it's like so if you get a can of paint, most paints like emulsion paints, you turn them upside down, it won't fall out. But if you mix it, it'll become runny. That's called thixotropic. And some honeys can be thixotropic, which is a darn nuisance for beekeepers because when we come to take the honey out, we want it just to spin out in a centrifuge.
Yeah.
Spin out to the edge of the centrifuge, and it won't do that. So you have to go in there and prick it and make sure it's a bit like the emulsion paint. You need to stir it a little bit before it will sort of flick out.
Sure. Have you seen the flow hives? Do you know these flow hives? I've seen adverts for them all the time.
I have, yeah. I haven't tried it. I mean, the logic of it is amazing, absolutely amazing. And it saves all the effort that we have to go through. I don't know how it's going to work really. I think it's got some logic, and I'm open-minded about it. It's quite expensive at the moment, of course.
I think so. Yeah, I saw. Well, the ones I saw certainly were patented in Australia. So I don't know if they even made it over here. I assume so. I mean, they've probably been shipped over here at one point. I mean, I don't keep bees, so I don't know the effort involved. I've roughly been told the process, which is basically you have to take the squares out. I don't know what the words are. The frames, yeah, and then you put them into the centrifuge or the spinner. The lot says you can see my
cut off the cap. So when bees are finished with filling each of the hexagonal cells on the frames, when they finish feeding it, they will cap it with wax, so it keeps it free of oxygen, keeps it safe, and it'll last a long time, because obviously they want to last the next winter. So we have to come along with a hot knife. We cut off all the tops of the wax, of the caps. Then you put them in, about 8 of them, into a spinner, spin them all around, and it's a centrifuge which spins all the honey out.
Sure.
So,
and it can last thousands of years, can't it? Because it's antiseptic, antibacterial or something.
Yeah,